Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you another one of my brand new comics hauls. I put these out every single Wednesday whenever I pick up my new issues that I'm going to be getting this week. So of course, let's pull these comics out of the bag. This week I've got 5 different issues from Marvel and I think 2 from Image. It's a nice stack. There's a bunch of oversized issues this week and a lot that I'm excited for. So now that we've got the comics out of the bag, we've got to get the bag out of the way. Alright, now that that's over with, let's get right into this brand new haul. So first up is a pretty important issue of this series. This is Fantastic Four number 32, and as you can see on the top here, this is the Bride of Doom Part 1, and it's also this first issue that's part of the Fantastic Four's 60th anniversary, which is, I guess, just starting this month. They're going to be rolling out some pretty important storylines and just big events happening in this 60th anniversary. They're also going to be putting out a Fantastic Four life story series, which is like if the Fantastic Four aged in real time and how the world would be different that way. But for this series itself, it's written by Dan Slott and the artist by R.B. Silva. And yeah, as the title would suggest, this is the first part of the Bride of Doom. Dr. Doom is getting married to his basically right-hand man, Victorious. She is the protector of Latveria and has some sort of power. I can't remember exactly what that power is because it's been a long time since they last appeared. But Dr. Doom is probably my favorite villain. He's actually got another issue coming out this week that he's part of. And I liked that ongoing series that he had a while back. Unfortunately, I think that ended after 10 issues. So it's good to see him back in Fantastic Four where he belongs, where he first originally appeared. Yeah, Fantastic Four has been awesome lately. It's been a very, very good series. Lighthearted, but still like big universe-changing things are going on. I really recommend this for anybody who hasn't jumped on it lately. Alright, next up is another exciting issue. This is Heroes Reborn, number 2. You can see the cover here isn't that exciting, it's just kind of simple. I think that's because all of these covers by Leinil Francis Yu have been connecting for the Heroes Reborn issues, so there might not be like too much going on, and the covers might be kind of boring, but I'm excited once all of the issues have come out to finally line them all up, all 8 of those covers. But the first issue was surprisingly good. I was thinking about doing an individual review of it, but I didn't really get around to it. But it exceeded all of my expectations. I kept them low because Avengers has been not quite as great as it was at the beginning, and I know this is sort of the replacement for the Avengers series. There was some great world building that they were able to put into that, and we'll be seeing more of that stretching into all of these different tie-ins that they're going to be putting out. Basically, it's just a changed Marvel universe in which all of the Avengers never had their origin stories, they never became the heroes of the world, and instead the Squadron Supreme are this all-famous team that everybody loves. They're doing work for America, and Phil Coulson is their leader as well as the President of the United States. And this issue is supposed to be mostly focused on Hyperion, all of the villains that he's put into the negative zone for so long over the years. We saw that in issue 1, have somehow escaped, and the Immortal Hulk is one of them, so we'll see this universe's take on Hulk, as well as Peter Parker coming in there. He was never bitten by the radioactive spider in this universe, and there's actually a one-shot called Peter Parker the Amazing Shutterbug that also came out this week. I was hoping to get it, but I couldn't find an extra issue because I hadn't asked for it to be set aside, unfortunately. But you might think that sounds super boring, just Peter Parker working for the Daily Bugle, doing photography, but without the twist that he's Spider-Man. I don't know, maybe it'll be interesting, but at first glance you'd think that would just be a really boring story. Alright then, Heroes Reborn is all ready to go now. We've got the artist, the colorist, everyone's all set up, so we're done. Great job. Okay, you can leave now, Jason. We're not done yet. Well, why not? Well, Peter Parker's still gotta be in it, right? Oh, yeah, I guess we did forget about Spider-Man. No, not Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Whoa, what? What do you... In the Heroes Reborn universe, Peter never got bitten by the radioactive spider. He's just a normal guy, okay? Oh, that's so boring. Yeah, and we're gonna do a whole tie-in just about him taking pictures. Can we not? Alright, moving on. This week I've got a couple of Spider-Man issues, which I'll be showing you in order. So the first one is Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man King's Ransom. This is, of course, the conclusion to this King's Ransom story arc that's been going on in Amazing Spider-Man. And for this last big issue of it, it's branching off into a whole nother one-shot. This was $6, so it's very unfortunate that people have been needing to spend extra money on these extra issues of Amazing Spider-Man. Honestly, I kind of like having an oversized issue sometimes just to get a big conclusion to a story arc. But of course this is written by Nick Spencer. The art is by a few different people, but I think mainly Rohei Antonio. And yeah, the story arc has been about Kingpin trying to collect these lifeline tablets. When put together, they give the user ultimate power somehow, and Spider-Man and Boomerang have also been going on this hunt for them. It's been a storyline that's been running through Amazing Spider-Man issues sort of in the background, but now it's taking center stage. And it's just a hunt for these final tablets. The Kingpin has been able to hire all of his old supervillain buds to try to take them down, and that part of the story arc kind of wrapped up last issue, and at this point it's really just Spider-Man and Boomerang versus Kingpin. So we'll see. I don't like having an extra issue of this that is kind of unnecessary, but at the same time, I'm really looking forward to reading this conclusion. Alright, and then my last Spider-Man issue of the week is Spider-Man Spider's Shadow #2, a What If comic. I did an individual video review of this one, so check that out if you haven't already, if you'd like to. But I did like that first issue. My only problem with it was that not much actually happened. It felt like it was just a fourth of what could have been a whole, one issue of What If, because this is the first time that a What If universe has ever been a full series. They even just announced that it's going to be extended into 5 issues instead of 4 like it was originally solicited to be. But I have faith that Chip Zdarsky and the team, the artist by Pascal Ferry, are going to be able to pull through and actually have more happen in each issue from now on. I think that was really just kind of a filler, getting us to know this whole time period that the story starts off in, basically when Spider-Man had the symbiote, and then in this universe, instead of giving it up when he finds out that it's an alien life form, he actually keeps it and then goes deeper into this dark way of like murdering criminals instead of just beating them up and sending them to prison, and basically letting the Venom symbiote take over his life because it's able to control him. So yeah, that's Spider-Man Spider's Shadow #2. I'm excited to see where they go with this. Alright, and then my final Marvel issue of the week. This one is Guardians of the Galaxy #14, the second issue in this relaunch of Guardians. Sort of a relaunch. There was a new artist and a bunch of new teammates have been added, and last issue was pretty decent. I did enjoy it. There was kind of a lot going on though. There was like 3 or 4 different storylines going on at the same time with just different chunks of this new expanded Guardians team because they couldn't all be there at once, and I think that is a big problem with a lot of huge team books like this. Whenever they add new teammates, there's just less and less time to focus on specific characters, and I think that's something that Al Ewing actually did really well before this relaunch that started on issue 13 where they added all the new characters. He was able to like focus on Star-Lord for a full issue that one time. He had like a Rocket story arc, stuff like that. So I hope that he still has time to flesh out the characters, because pretty much every single character on the Guardians team doesn't have their own solo series. They need like some character development. At the same time though, there's some really exciting villains being added to the team even. Like you can see Dr. Zoom on the cover here. This is the other issue he's appearing in that I was talking about. And they just announced a new event that's going to be written by Al Ewing. I think it's called The Final Annihilation, something along those lines. That's just going to be a crossover between the Guardians book as well as Sword, which is a Dawn of X comic that Al Ewing is also writing, so they're going to be crossing over. It's looking like Dr. Doom is going to be the main villain in that crossover, so we'll see if he actually becomes a member of the Guardians or if the cover is just misleading. So we'll see where they go with this. I'm curious to see how they deal with Doom being on the team. Alright, and then moving on to Image Comics this week, I've got 2 different issues from them. The first one I'll be going over is Time Before Time, issue 1. This is a brand new ongoing series from Image Comics, but I wanted to specifically give this one a try because it's co-written by Declan Shalvey, who has done work for Marvel in the past, and he's not actually doing the art on this one, unfortunately, and that's my favorite part of the work that he's done. He did a really good job on the Immortal Hulk one-shot that he did a few months back. So my only regret with this issue is that he's not doing the art, but it's co-written by McConville and artist by Joe Palmer. I was just looking inside, and honestly, the art looks very strange. It's like super 2D, almost cartoonish. We'll see. I don't know. I could definitely adapt to that type of art style if the story is good enough, but I think it'd be super cool if Shalvey could illustrate at least one issue at some point. From what I've heard, though, of course I don't know too much because it's a new series, but it's about some sort of time-traveling agency. The future is messed up, so they could go back in time, and they're able to like send people there for a sum of money. If their lives are bad in the future, they can just go back to the past. But yeah, we'll see how it is. Look out for an individual video review of this issue. I'll probably be putting that out tomorrow or the day after, whenever I get around to reading it. So yeah, that's Time Before Time #1. Alright, now we're on to the final issue of this comic haul. It's Geiger #2 from Image Comics. I did enjoy that first issue. There really wasn't too much that happened. It was pretty simple and easy to follow, but they did some world building. It's basically some sort of like post-apocalyptic nuclear war world where you have to go outside with like masks, suits, so that you can keep protected from the radiation. Legends call him the glowing man that we see on the cover here. Was trapped outside of a vault. His family made it inside so that they could stay in the bunker and, you know, be hidden from the outside world. And since then, he's like mutated and gotten powers somehow, as well as his dog. I think it's not on the cover, but he has a 2-headed dog, and we saw in the flashback that it was originally just like some little cute puppy, but now it's transformed into this 2-headed wolf type creature. And he's like protecting his home, his family, and it's been, I think, 20 years or some crazy number like that ever since the radiation started. So who knows if his family are even alive in that bunker anymore. I can't imagine they have enough food and water to preserve them for that long. Not too much happened in that first issue, but I think we'll get more world building and find out more about this post-nuclear war world. So yeah, that's Geiger #2. I'm excited to see where this series goes. Alright, well that's every single one of the brand new issues that I picked up this week. I want to know what you guys got though. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you already read your issues, let me know what your pick of the week was. I'll read that one first if it's one that I got. And before we go, if you did enjoy this video at all, hit that subscribe button if you're not already. You can also hit that notifications bell, which is sitting right next to it. You'll be notified every single time I post a new video if you don't want to miss any. So that's everything from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye guys.